that thumbnail though. All right, guys. This is the Computer Programming University, and Eli, the computer guy, made a response video to me, and it's due to a video that I made about him, and I think he misses the point. One of the things that he kept focusing on is my lack of views and saying that I wasn't really qualified to make comments about his channel, but the reality is, in fact, I've gotten a lot more views on one of my channels than he does on the channel that he mentioned me in. And I'm gonna prove it. I'll show you my stats. He's looking at small channels that I have done out of passion, trying to help people. Ultimately, the mission initially was that I was struggling to learn things myself just based on the material that was out there, and I figured I would do it in a more fun and entertaining and simple format so people could learn. And this is before the money on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. That was my mission. So I did it, you know, whenever I was learning something and struggled, I would do a video. So it was really not something I was running as a business or a brand. Now let's take a look at the stats. So here is Eli the Computer Guy's channel, right? So he's got 300,000 views, 300,000, 300,000, 276,000, 250,000, 149,000, which is not bad. Now he's got 800,000 subscribers on his main channel. This channel has 120,000 subscribers. Based on those subscriber counts, as he knows and he admits, he's one of the most authentic and honest YouTubers. Trust me, I mean this. Absolutely, if you want to know the truth about YouTube, the dirty truth about YouTube, watch Eli the Computer Guy. So he knows what's up. He knows the deal. Now, with that being said, now look at my stats of channels that I've run on my spare time. Multiple channels. I have multiple channels with many 100,000 views, and that's not running as a brand. That's in my spare time about different topics. I have a channel about boats. I have a channel about bikes. I have a channel about technology, right? And multiple of them have reached six-figure views. So let's look at so here's one channel right here. Look at the amount of subscriber growth. So he says, oh, your channel only has 3,000 subscribers. Look at this growth right here. You see that? That's 4,000 subscribers, almost 5,000 subscribers. Now look at the period of time. So if you look right here, you can see that's 2,800 subscribers in 1 month. In 2014, when I was actually pumping out a lot of videos. Now I've kind of moved away from YouTube. I haven't really been doing that many videos, so my channel has suffered a lot because of that, right? But look at that. That's almost 3,000 subscribers in a month, and I guarantee you that he's probably not getting that many subscribers in a month on his 120,000 subscriber channel. I may be wrong, because he could be getting that much based on the views he's getting, but that number would be good even for Eli, the Computer Guy, to be getting. Not on his main channel. That would be low for his main channel, but for his live channel, that number would be impressive, and that's what I'm getting, or I got, and that's not even my largest channel. That's not even my largest channel. That was my second largest channel. All right, and at that point, I only had about 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers. Now I have 10 times that by now, but that's me at 3,000 subscribers, 4,000, whatever, in 1 month. That's how many subscribers I got. The month before that, 1,500. The month before that, 485. Now let's look at some other stats here. So we want to talk about views. So let's look at views right here. These are the views on my channel. 700,000, 600,000, 220,000, 204,000, 98,000, 144,000, 139,000, 100,000, 66,000. Those are the amount of views on my channel, which is a fraction of the size of all of YouTube, all of Eli Computer Guy's channels. I was getting six-figure views on channels that are a fraction of the size of all of Eli Computer Guy's channels. So his live channel as well as his main channel, right? And I'm getting comparable views with a fraction of the size. That is what qualifies me to comment about what works and what doesn't work on YouTube, right? Again, you're looking at channels that were not created as a brand. It was created really ultimately for me to help people. So I only did it, you know, when I had a certain educational objective for myself. I'm learning something, and as I'm learning something, I would share that newly acquired knowledge with my subscribers. right? But I would let months go by and not post any videos. Some channels I let years go by. Now that is absolute YouTube suicide. You cannot do that. In fact, Eli did that himself. Not that exact thing, but there was a period of time where he wasn't posting videos and he suffered because of it. It's the same thing. You have to be consistent on YouTube. The only way you can get away with not being consistent is if you have a strong following, which is what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to separate myself from the stupid YouTube algorithm, which, you know, changes every day. You just, you know, you could have something that's really working and overnight have it just be trashed by YouTube's whim, right? So I'm trying to separate myself from that. I'm trying to get more engaged with my subscribers so that I'm not dependent on YouTube anymore. But regardless, so that's one channel. Let's go to another channel. 731,000, I don't know if you guys can see this, 731,000 views, 1.1 million views, 500,000 views, 500,000 views, 500,000 views, 350,000 views, 302,000 views, 239,000 views. This is a channel with a fraction of the subscribers that Eli Computer Guy has. Look at those numbers. I misspoke about my CPM. My CPM was through the roof. It was $11 playback CPM, and it was something like $6 just the regular CPM. Absolutely phenomenal performance. If you look at the retention time on the video, it was through the roof. The first 2.5 minutes, people were glued to the video. There's a graph that shows you the retention, shows you basically how much they're engaged with the video. And it was literally at the top of the graph, and it stayed there. It dipped down a little bit in the middle, and then in the ending, it went through the roof again. That video, I think, is this. That's not even that video. Look at that. That million view video with 2.7 million watch minutes is not even the video that was on that level in terms of CPM. Now let's go to another channel. This is a channel that I haven't even posted in years. It's a small channel. It was a few thousand subscribers or something. I really didn't put much effort into it. I just started it up, a completely different topic. I'm talking about boats. Talking about boats of all topics, right? 158,000 views, 122,000 views, right? That's on a tiny channel that you could call it throwaway channel, right? Now compare that to full-time YouTubers who are dedicated to growing their channels. They're doing it full-time. They need to pay the bills, right? So they're spending a lot of time in marketing and social media and pushing and branding and let me do the funky thumbnails like I did on this video and let me see what's trending and all this kind of stuff because they need to get these views because the views are paying the bills. Now, I have been able to do what I've been able to do in my spare time, on the weekend, during my lunch break, after work. This is the results that I got, right? How did I get these results? Not because I'm so smart or I figured out some kind of secret or whatever, because one of the advantages that I've always had is because I'm not a full-time YouTuber, I'm not caught up into the operational. When I say the operational, I mean a lot of these YouTubers, you know, if you're doing something to pay the bills and it's so flimsy and gimmicky like YouTube is, you know, you constantly can be chasing views and what works or whatever, and you're looking at your channel stats and whatever, and you get blinded. Like I watched Eli for years. I still watch him. Like on my computer, on this channel, most of the videos I watch that are not my own are of Eli Computer Guy, right? Love his content. I watched him for years, and I watched when he was in the dark, right? There was a period of time where he was in the dark. Really, I think at first he didn't necessarily get how YouTube works. He was just kind of posting videos. I think he was kind of like me in a way, but not really, because he was trying to run a business. He was trying to run the teaching, whatever you call it, but he was trying to do instructional videos as a business, so it was a little bit of a different perspective. But I feel like he was just posting content on YouTube as opposed to being a YouTuber. And then when he started seeing trouble with the numbers, then I would say the biggest awakening for Eli was the time when what is it, not I Hate Everything, but oh, I can't remember. I've been so like out of the YouTube world for a while, but there was a major YouTuber, 4 million subscribers, that did a video that referenced Eli the Computer Guy when most of these big YouTubers finally started noticing glitches on YouTube that I'd been aware of since 2014. Since 2014, I'd been aware of many problems with YouTube regarding the algorithm, regarding your subscribers not being able to see your videos, which is a big problem for me. It's a big problem for Eli. Basically, a fraction of your subscribers even get notified about your videos. I was talking about this in 2014. I was trying to get big YouTubers to listen, and they would not listen. They blew me off because as long as they were getting their money and the views were coming in, they were like, oh, everything's good to go. Nobody cared. Now, when big YouTubers started getting hit, then they started making videos. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's talking about, oh, smash the bell, you know. But this is something I picked up on a long time ago. But the bottom line is, when the YouTube glitches became popular through big channels talking about it, and Eli, the computer guy, took note, that was his major awakening. All of a sudden, and if you watch his own videos, he admits it. There was so much stuff going on YouTube that he was not aware of because he did not care. He even admits it now, does not care. Right? And to some extent, I don't care. But the thing about it is, I'm an analyst by nature. Right? That's just how I am. So I spent a lot of time analyzing YouTube channels, analyzing my own statistics or my own analytics. And through that analysis, I was able to pick up on many patterns in terms of what was working and what wasn't working on YouTube. Now, with that knowledge, you may ask, well, why didn't I grow bigger than I did? Because again, this is something I did on the side. I do not have a lot of faith in YouTube in terms of the platform. It's very flimsy. It's very gimmicky. Now, mind you, I'm trying again to revive things and take all this knowledge and get into it again. And I'm going to try to do a different strategy of delegation where as the channel grows, I'm going to use, since I don't need any of the revenue, I can use my revenue to delegate and hire an editor and do a lot of things a lot of YouTubers can't do because they need the money for their bills. I don't need it for my bills. So I can use it to delegate because the bottom line is I need to get something going and keep it consistent, but I can't do that with a full-time demanding career that I have. So in order to do that, what I'm looking to do is to build a channel to a point where I can delegate and have a small team, which I can afford to do because, again, I don't need the revenue, right? Even at the point that I was at previously where I approached like $1,000 a month, you know, that would be enough for me to hire an editor to do at least a few videos a month or something like that. And I can do some myself as well, some live streams. But the bottom line is to build up something that works and to get the consistency and keep with it, right? Because the bouncing around and doing different things, like unfortunately what Eli's doing right now, what you do a video that's about a trending topic. You get a bunch of strangers that come in, the views come in, and they watch it. Oh, this is cool, this is funny, whatever. And then they leave. Right? That yes, it brings in views, but it's temporary. You know what I mean? So the point about it is to get something that works and to stick with it, and more importantly, to engage with your audience so people fall in love with you, not your content. When they fall in love with you, they will follow you wherever you go. And that is the key. So that allows you to separate yourself from the YouTube nonsense. YouTube can play with their algorithm all they want, but if you have dedicated following who will follow you wherever you go, you build a website, they follow you. You build a social media, they follow you because they value your content and they have a connection with you. That is the ultimate thing that will get you to break apart from this. Now, I'm not just talking on my ass. I have personally seen this happen. I watched a channel that was smaller than myself that used the same formula that I'm talking about. This channel now averages 10 to 15,000 views per video. 10 to 15,000 views per video. And that is a channel that is smaller than Eli the Computer Guy Live. Pretty much anything they post up, people will watch. Why? Because they did something consistently that people enjoyed. Very, very consistently so. And they also have a strong connection with their audience, which I am now building, but I didn't do that previously. But the bottom line is to talk about and dismiss, you know, oh, who am I to talk about views or to give advice to bigger channels? Well, the fact that I've gotten more views than channels that are much bigger than mine, I think that qualifies me. And it's not a one-hit wonder. As you saw, many six-figure videos, multiple channels, multiple topics, right? I don't know many YouTubers that are able to do that on multiple channels, right? It's extremely hard to do. To have a #1 video for 2 years in a row, to dominate multiple keywords. You type in a keyword and my video was page #1, right? to do that, to have a video bring in 300, 400,000 views on a channel that you're not even posting on. That the only reason you even notice that is because you started getting notifications about people commenting. You're like, what are they commenting about? Commenting about some old video that you don't even care about anymore, right? How did I do that? That is years and years of research and analysis and paying attention to all of YouTube. Right? I'm not just limited to Tech World or whatever. I've been watching the drama channels. I've been watching the tech channels. I've been watching the vloggers. I remember from the days of, what was that guy with a high-pitched voice? I forgot the name of him. From those days, I remember there was also, you know, Casey Neistat, and that's more recent. But I mean, I've watched a lot of channels grow. I've watched many, many phases of YouTube. And I think I've had a unique perspective on YouTube because, again, the people who know the most about YouTube are the full-time YouTubers who are sort of chasing the, what do you want to call it? Like they're doing it for a living. So it's like whatever gimmick, whereas fidget spinners or whatever, they're chasing whatever it is that gets the views. And a lot of times, people don't understand YouTube is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Right? And when you're spending all this time promoting your channel, growing your channel, looking at analytics or whatever, you get blinded to a lot of things that are happening. There are a lot of things that have been happening for years on a platform that major YouTubers have no idea. They're too busy pumping out videos, too busy trying to stay relevant, all this kind of stuff, to be looking at other industries on YouTube, other areas. But I was actually looking on a broad. I mean, I looked at food channels. I mean, you just name it. I've been all over the platform looking at various size channels, multi-million subscriber channels, 10,000 subscriber channels. I've watched channels that have grown from nothing to very, very large channels now. And I've learned a lot from that. Now, unfortunately, again, I haven't had the luxury that is required for success on YouTube, which is time, right? I'm doing this in a part-time, and it's really, really difficult to succeed. Crashed on me again. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Computer. What's up, Naras and Dry Ice? How are you, Ice? You should teach on Cybrary. That might boost up your popularity. I'll look into that. I'm good. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. Good. Eli's content is good, but I dislike his attitude. I kind of felt the same way myself, but that's before I kind of got to understand why he is the way he is. And I found a new respect for him, which I think most people won't get because they don't. Again, I really understand how YouTube works, as does Eli, but he still has more stuff to learn, as do I, as do we all. It's a constantly changing platform. But because of how much I understand about the dark side of YouTube, I understand his frustration, especially being that he's a full-timer and he's got a mortgage to pay, you know, and he doesn't want to accept that we are as much alike as we are. For example, his distaste for the gimmick, you know, like the thumbnails. Like, I just want to post, my whole thing is I just want to post good quality content that my subscribers will enjoy and benefit from. I don't really, you know, the whole gimmicky, you know, oh, look at my thumbnail and you know, talking about trending topics and all this kind of nonsense. I don't really want to be bothered with that, you know. It's just, that's how the platform is, and that's kind of, you're kind of forced to do those things. Some people go too far and they go into the deceptive clickbaity stuff, and you know, that's a whole other story. But it's just, it's just ultimately a frustrating thing, and I think a lot of that is what you see when you watch him and you say like his attitude. So I just think there's a good reason behind it. But anyway, let me see. Well, it's all about the info. This channel is out of love. Eli might not, but just to jump on the IT wagon. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally, so I can't say. If you don't have $20 to buy a book to learn a book on PHP or something, then you should rethink your career. The word is being overused by corporations at this point. They barely know who is the right person for the job. You're right, but it doesn't. I don't think I can learn from a person like this. He says that in one of his videos on Linux from Scratch project on how to learn PHP. All right, guys, that's all I want to say. So, you know, Eli the Computer Guy, great videos, great content. You know, it sucks that he's been burnt by YouTube, and I say burnt, but he's been able to pay his mortgage and survive off of YouTube, so he hasn't been burned so much. But I think he's been burned in the sense that he's kind of forced to do things that he doesn't necessarily want to do, but just because it's like you have to appease the YouTube gods. It's just a tough situation, and a lot of times people like to judge others without truly understanding where they're coming from. But I try to understand, you know, people, even the biggest jerk in the office, there's a reason why they're a jerk. Like, you don't know what they've necessarily been through. Not trying to excuse people who are just necessarily bad people, but a lot of times you have to always remember that people are human just like you are, right? They go through struggles, they go through hardships, and people react in different ways to different hardships that they have in their lives. So before you quickly judge someone and say, like Eli the Computer Guy, he's such a jerk off, he's whatever, you have to understand who he is as a person, his life experiences, and potential reasoning for why he is the way he is. Because, like, let's say the case of a bully, right? You look at a bully, a lot of people get focused on the fact that the person's a bully. This person is such, they're so bad, they're so evil, you know, they're scum, whatever. And then if you actually dive deeper into the person as a whole, maybe you find out that this person actually is a product of an abusive, like, family. Maybe their father used to beat them, and you know, child abuse. Who knows what they've been through? Again, not trying to excuse their behavior as a bully, but again, we're all human. Do you truly know how you would react to all kinds of scenarios, whether it's personal tragedy, maybe you built up a business for 10 years and then the business falls apart and you end up homeless or something, and you're just getting back on your feet now, working in Walmart or something. Previously you were driving around in a Mercedes or whatever, and that kind of beat you down, and you're in your 50s or something, and now you just have this kind of chip on your shoulder, and now you're kind of a jaded person, and people not understanding the full scope, they just look at you, this guy's an asshole, he's a jerk, whatever. But if you look at the full story, then you're like, whoa, that sucks, you know, what this person went through. Again, not excusing the behavior, but again, we're all human, and I just think it's wise to try to understand why people do the things they do and why they behave the way they do, because sometimes the people that are truly good people but that are just responding to hardships, you can actually pull them back to being their better selves, because through them seeing that you understand them and you don't just judge them like everybody else, they might actually listen to you and appreciate that and rethink things and remember their previous selves and maybe make a change. But most people won't do that. Most people will just judge them and like, oh, you're a jerk, you're this, you're that, you're whatever, and that doesn't help matters, right? That just sort of feeds, right? The person's already angry and frustrated, and then here you are, you know, attacking them and saying they're this and they're whatever, instead of really listening and trying to understand, you know, why they are the way they are. And then it's just kind of, it's reactive, you know, you're attacking me, I'm going to defend myself, and so on and so forth. But anyway, now I'm making another too long video when I have stuff to do. So on that note, I think I've made my case that I do, in fact, am qualified to make comments about what works and what doesn't work on YouTube, because, again, I have seen much success on small channels, and again, being able to run 15 channels as one person in your part-time, where it's not about the money. Most of my videos I don't even monetize, right? Being able to do that says a lot. All right, so there you have it.